All right, everybody, welcome back to the fifth and final video in our 2021 Colorwork Knit Along video series. And I'm going to be talking with you today about pom-poms. So the Fleet hat by Tin Can Knits and the Ridgeline hat by Tin Can Knits both say that you can add an optional pom-pom. And it reminds you that you're going to need about an extra 30 yards of yarn to complete the pom-pom. So I'm going to show you the pom-pom makers that we carry at our store, and I'm going to show you how to make them. Let's get started. All right, so we've got our wonderful finished hat here. All of the ends are woven in. It is awaiting a blocking. I always like to block my hats. It's up in the air. Sometimes I don't even wash my hats. I know that sounds horrible. So, if you're going to be washing it after you put the pom-pom on, that's totally fine. If you want to block it before the pom-pom, that's also great too. It's totally up to you, but we've just got this really beautiful hat. And then we've got a little bit left of our main color, which is Foothills by Brooklyn Tweed. And I think I've got 30 yards in here. So we should be all well and good to do the pom-pom. So let me show you these adorable pom-pom makers that we have. So we carry the Pom Maker brand, and so we've got these adorable donut pom makers. These are the medium size, which is perfect for the size of the pom-pom that we're going to want to use on our hat here. If you so choose, we also just got in these really gorgeous collaborations, these beautiful poppy pom-pom makers, and they're both mediums as well. We do have them in smaller sizes, but medium is what you're going to be wanting using for your hat. All right, let's make a pom-pom. To make pom-poms are easier than a lot of people think. Really, there's other ways to make pom-poms with just some cardboard, but it's so sweet and it makes it so much more fun if you've got a beautiful pom-pom maker that's super sweet for the kids or for yourself, just to keep you motivated. I like to pull out a good amount of yarn just so that I have a little bit more play. And so we're gonna take these two wooden arcs and we're just gonna hold them together. And this is gonna make the seam that we eventually will tie our pom-pom with. So you're just gonna get some yarn and you're going to start wrapping it around both of these pieces, and you're just going to build up layers and keep going and going. So the more you wrap, the thicker your pom-pom will be. And so even though this is a medium-sized pom maker, you're actually able to make pom-poms that are anywhere from like 2.5 to 3.5 inches. And that just depends on how densely you wrap, how thick you decide to make your layers, and all in all, it'll just determine how fluffy your pom-pom is, which I know there are some people that like pom-poms as large as their hats, others just kind of like the inconspicuous flare. So another important factor is making sure that when you do finish wrapping both layers, that they are as even as possible. Many a time I have made a lopsided pom, and it is because I have not wrapped my layers evenly. Thankfully, it is quick fix with some scissors to adjust some bits. But we're just going to keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping until we feel like we've got the right thickness. Even layers within each of the arcs is also really important. I've got my first arc done. I'm gonna break my yarn and I'm gonna set it aside. I'm gonna get my next arcs, pop that off, set him aside, and gonna put these babies together and start wrapping. All right. So looking at those straight down, they look fairly even, although when I squeeze them, I know I can feel that this guy is way more dense than this one. So I'm gonna keep wrapping. All right, let's compare again. And now I think I've overwrapped my right one. Oh man. So I'm just gonna take a few layers off. And you know what? If it's a bit lopsided, I hope nobody will point it out, right? So let's just unwrap a few. All right. and that feels much better. Maybe just one more quick layer. But yeah, okay. So once you're done, I'm gonna break my yarn. Once you're done wrapping, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these together like this, and we're gonna pop a donut frosting on either side like that. Donut frosting on the other side like this. We're gonna squeeze that as hard as we can. Now is the scary part. We're gonna cut this baby. So I will let you know, the sharper the scissors, the better, which seems understandable for most crafters. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut up this seam, and we wanna keep our pinch on the frosting of our donut maker. Okay, got one side done. Gonna do the other side. Okay. So now, keeping our pinch, what we're gonna do is we're going to take yarn and we're going to tie it as tightly as we can in this seam and let it tie our pom-pom together. Brooklyn Tweed, Shelter, and Loft, and Corey are all woolen spun yarns. So instead of using this, where because of the shorter staple length and the airier yarn construction, it can be a bit more fragile to work with, I would recommend grabbing your favorite worsted style spun yarn, something like Arbor or Yorkshire Medley or our flock yarn, and you're gonna be much happier with how the tie of your pom-pom works. So I've got some pink Yorkshire Medley here, and this is really important because it's going to show you that it doesn't matter what color yarn you choose if you are deciding to use a worsted spun versus a woolen spun. So I'm just going to pull off a length. I'm going to snip it off. And now what I want to do is very carefully, I'm just going to start to drape this through and around in that wooden groove, like this. And now what I want to do is, as tightly as I can, I just want to tie this. And so I'm going to make sure that it's in my wooden crease. Make sure that I stay everything kind of popped together like that. And now I'm going to pull as tight as I can. Tight, 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 tight. Okay, once you've pulled tightly, you can pop off your donut frostings, but I would recommend maybe just tying it once more for good luck. Pop your frosting off. Pop your frosting off. That side's a bit tighter. And then what we can do is we can just remove our wooden blocks. And voila, I've got a lovely pom-pom. I've got a nice pom-pom. I probably could have done it thicker if I didn't want it to look so scrappy, but a little bit of a tassel like that and a trim, and you're ready to attach it to a hat once it gets cleaned up a little bit. So you can kind of go through and like trim that end and just make it nice and even the whole way around. Some people like to carry their pom-pom with mohair so that it starts to get a halo over time. I think that the 100% wool pom-poms though just look lovely. And there you have it. Your pom-pom is ready to attach onto your hat. All right, so to attach your pom-pom, what you're gonna wanna do is you're going to want to grab the bottom of your pom-pom. Thread it through as it rolls about. And then we're just going to take it through the top of our hat here. And we're going to fasten it on. And you're all set. You got your wee little pom on your fleet hat. All right, so I'm going to attach my pom-pom now. Still not attached. So I am going to, essentially you can anchor it by just weaving in your ends. Or you can choose to kind of make it semi-removable if you don't want to wash your pom-pom whilst you are washing your hat. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you've learned lots and now have wonderful hat or hats to show off in this late winter season. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and happy knitting. Stay safe out there.